If you could boil your existence down to one word, what would it be? For me, it was adaptability. And here's why. When I was 9 years old, I was raised from birth in Chicago, Illinois. I woke up just like every other 9-year-old would. I got up, I got dressed, and I went downstairs to eat breakfast with my mom and dad. When my dad was leaving, he was at the front door and he turned around and said, "Zach, tell your mother that I'm not going to be home for dinner tonight." And I was a little naive. I didn't really think about it, so I just told my mom the news. She thought he was just working pretty late. We didn't really think too much into it. Little did I know that I wasn't ever going to see my dad again. He ended up passing away that night. That life event is what spiraled into my very existence today. That weekend, this was on a Wednesday, like on a Friday, my mom and I packed up the entire car and we drove straight westward from Chicago to Los Angeles. The reason we chose Los Angeles was because my sister was living there, and also my brother, who was living in Israel, had connections to the religious Jewish community in Los Angeles. So it was a surefire bet for us to start over. Over the next 5 days we drove over, and when we landed in California, we were greeted by the Orthodox Jewish community, a community I have never been exposed to in my life. What did I have to do? I had to adapt. My mom enrolled me in summer camp because it was in July to meet all the rest of the kids in the neighborhood. I was doing really well. In fact, I loved everyone, even though they were so different than me. But after about 5 days, I got kicked out. The reason was I pulled out of my back pocket a picture of a girl who I thought at the time was my girlfriend. And that was like a big no-no for the religious Jewish community. And they ended up kicking me out, calling me oil and water to the camp. Just don't mix. Fast forward, I'm in Los Angeles. Every 2 years of my life, I'm changing schools, I'm changing apartments. My mom gets married, my mom gets divorced, and throughout all of this, I'm adapting. Then we're at sophomore year in high school. We're still living in LA at the time. But my mom and I decide to go on a little trip to Chicago to visit my grandparents. And on that trip, my mom says, "Zach, here's the thing. Beverly Hills is way too expensive for me. I'm on Social Security. And Bubby and Poppy, my grandparents, are getting really old, so here's what we're gonna do. We're moving here." And I said, "What?" And she took out from her back pocket the tickets to return back to LA, and she cut it up and she said, "Congratulations, you live in Chicago now." I'm in the middle of high school and I have to enroll in a new high school. Junior year, the year that everyone is taking their SATs, ACTs, and focusing on college, I have to make friends from scratch. In fact, people who didn't like me from when I was kids, if they did remember me, I would be screwed because I was a really weird kid when I was a kid. What ended up happening was I ended up making some of the most amazing friends I've ever had in my life, completely new people, and I'm actually visiting them this Thanksgiving. They're still my friends today. I had to adapt. Fast forward to college, I decided to embark in a relationship. And they ended up staying with this girl all throughout the entire college, including us moving in together after graduation. But unfortunately, a month after we moved in together, we decided it wasn't gonna work. So we broke up. What did I have to do again? I had to adapt. So I went to every single social outing, social event, meetup.com, you name it, for the next 3 weeks straight. Fast forward to today, I meet some of the most irreplaceable, most amazing people. I would never give up for an infinite amount of money. I have made such amazing friends. And why? Because I had to adapt. When something tragic happens in your life, or anything good even, you can't choose what happens to you, but what you can choose is how you respond. Woody Allen says, "If you want to make God laugh, tell him about your plans." My word is adaptability. My question for you is, what's yours?